Well, hello, retro cereal eaters. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Marcus. In my last video, I talked about the top 5 most unhealthy 1980s cereals. And in this list, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 healthiest, or so they seem, because not all as it seems in the world of cereal. But these are the top 5 that I remember from the 80s that really I think I ate way more of my fair share. These are definitely not gluten-free, I'll tell you that much. And they are different. So let's start off with the very first one. And this one comes in at number 5. It is one that, I don't know what to say. It's number 5 because it is the blandest cereal I think I could think of. And it's Corn Flakes. And the reason I'm pausing is because I'm holding a tiny bobblehead of Tony the Tiger. And not even Tony the Tiger could save this because it's pre-Frosted Flakes. Corn Flakes are one of the most bland breakfast cereals you could ever imagine. And I mean, honestly, I think that a lot of times in the 80s especially, the commercials were really reaching, man. They were trying to get the kids' attention. They didn't know what to do. And in this case, as you'll see, they didn't have a mascot like Tony the Tiger, but they had something possibly even better.
Number 5.
Well, I'm awake, make no mistake. I want the best in my bowl. I want Kellogg's Corn Flakes. I want the crunch, that crispy crunch. I want the best in my bowl. I want Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Give me that crispy, give me that crispy, give me that sunshine taste, give me that crunchy, give me that crunchy, give me that Kellogg's taste. I want the best in my bowl. I want Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Pretty crazy to see Keanu Reeves in a commercial like that. But yeah, Corn Flakes, pretty bland, and I guess they were just reaching. Another common variation, which is a little different because it's bran, is Raisin Bran. And Raisin Bran didn't make this list, although it's an honorable mention, I suppose. It's just not quite as, it's not as terrible as Corn Flakes, but there's something about Raisin Bran that it's really kind of a sweet cereal. It tastes kind of sweet. Maybe it's the raisins, I don't know. And there's some other ones on this list that I think are pretty crazy. So the next one, coming in at number 4, is extremely bizarre to eat. I remember the first time I ate it, and I remember thinking, like, all my baby teeth are gonna fall out. I'm talking about Grape Nuts. If you don't let Grape Nuts soak in a little bit in the milk, man, I hope your fillings are in good shape and that you have a good dentist. Because they are like little pebbles, like little rocks. And unless you let it soak for a while, damn. The other thing that happens is if you let them soak too long, it turns into this like mound of sort of like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like all the milk goes away. It just sponges up. They're so dehydrated that they just suck up all the milk, and you're left with this like mushy pile of like whatever a grape nut is. Because, yeah, it's not a grape, it's not a nut. It's like some form of wheat, I guess. Anyway, Grape Nuts is number 4.
There's a trail down there most folks use to get to know this mountain. I've gotten more out of going my own way. Lots of cereals seem to satisfy most folks too. Grape Nut cereal makes breakfast my way, and my way's all natural. No added sugar, nothing artificial. The natural sweetness of wheat and barley. Goodness in every crunch. See, there's no question Grape Nuts is right for you. Question is, are you right for Grape Nuts?
That commercial is absolute genius. The way it ends, are you right for Grape Nuts, is really interesting. It's almost like you have to qualify to eat Grape Nuts. If you don't climb mountains or go across dangerous suspension bridges, you are not right for Grape Nuts. You know, if you're not like climbing the Alps and that kind of thing. It's a pretty cool commercial, I have to say. That is some interesting marketing. All right, the number 3 cereal is one that is, I'm throwing in for a little fun here because it's about to get even weirder after this one. Now this cereal, I think, has probably quite a bit of sugar. I can't say that for sure. I think it's some kind of a corn puff, or I don't know what it is. This was one that I was always allowed to eat when I was a kid. So it was in my house all the time, to the point where I would try everything to make this cereal taste a little more exciting, because it got pretty bland. Peanut butter. I remember once trying chocolate syrup. Sugar didn't really do anything to it, but whatever. Anyway, Kix. Now the weird thing with Kix is these commercials, once in a while the 80s would throw these like jingles at you. And this song is borderline polka. Not really sure how else to explain it. Take a listen for yourself with number 3.
Kids like Kix for what Kix has got.
Moms like Kix for what Kix is not.
Kix has corn and nuts and nuts. 'Cause Kix has organic fancy stuff.
No added colors,
Kix doesn't need 'em.
no added flavors.
Kids love to eat 'em.
It's low in sugar, so it's not too sweet.
A good Kix breakfast, it's hard to beat. Kids like Kix for what Kix has got.
Moms like Kix for what Kix has not. Kix, kid tested, mother approved.
Yeah, see what I mean? It's got kind of a catchy tune. I mean, that's the kind of song where moms are going to be walking down the aisles, you know, as they shop. I love the beginning where that kid is just like, you know, he's like waiting for the beat to drop. He's like, I think that's pretty funny, the way that that commercial starts. The next one is one that is so bizarre that they just kept changing it up over the years. You know, it was like, it came out in this odd form, which I don't think any other cereal comes in this way, except for Pop-Tarts, maybe. If you consider Pop-Tarts something, this is the closest thing as far as packaging. Shredded wheat comes in these weird packaged envelopes with 2 big wheat things. And you can eat this cereal in many different ways. You can put them straight into the bowl and let them soak up the milk. They're not too bad, you know. You can crunch them up. There's commercials of them doing that, where they're crunching them. There's another way to do it, and there's a commercial too where they would heat it up. I remember doing that too. I remember actually heating them up. And then they came out with the shredded mini wheats, which were very popular. Completely different commercial campaign. And those are actually really good. I mean, to be fair, those are pretty good. And they changed those up, I mean, to all kinds of different, you know, variations, including, they also have like a oat one. I don't know. Anyway, point is, the shredded wheat, these were these big, giant chunks, and it almost was like, you almost are better off with a fork, to be honest. Like a hay bale. Like baling hay. That would be more appropriate as far as eating this type of cereal. So, coming in at number 2, which is hard to believe that we're already that far along. Number 2 is shredded wheat.
Back in the old days, the U.S. mail service was forever running into problems.
Late again, eh, boy? Late again, Mr. Perky.
Until Mr. Henry D. Perky of Denver, Colorado, invented his shredded wheat breakfast.
A cereal with all the bran fiber of 100% whole wheat. 100% whole wheat? Yep, with no added salt nor sugar neither. Sure is a help for health and vitality.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Of course, 2's fine for ordinary deliveries, but for first-class letters, 3 shredded wheat.
Look like we missed post today.
Shredded wheat, the original bran fiber cereal.
I think that's such a bizarre commercial. The post office, you know, going across the Wild West. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He's carrying the horse at the end. That is some bizarre stuff. All right. The number one healthiest cereal is one that is a trick. It is not healthy at all. In fact, it's easily the least healthy on here. Now, before I unveil number one, I want to know what you guys think as far as what are your most healthy cereals that you grew up with. I mean, I know that there's a bunch out there. We had Life, Cheerios, you know. Honey Nut Cheerios is pretty good, but I don't know if that counts. Another one that I remember too is Crispix. Those things were really bizarre. Anyway, what else? I'm sure you guys have some. Please let me know what you remember. This next one though is like a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is one that I was able to purchase when it came out, and my mom would get it for me, and I think she thought it was healthy, and I don't know. It's not. It's Cracklin Oat Bran. And Cracklin Oat Bran is so good. It's crazy. It's so good. I mean, if I had to choose a cereal out of this entire list, this is the one that I would want to eat right now. It is like these little oat thing. I don't even know how to describe it. It literally tastes like cookies. It tastes like cookies and milk. Like oatmeal cookies dipped in milk. That's what you're eating. It is very bad for you. But yeah, Cracklin Oat Bran. Now the problem with Cracklin Oat Bran is their 80s commercials sucked so bad. It was like this horrible ad campaign where people were sitting across a table, like trying to deny that they ate the last Cracklin Oat Bran piece or something. Then they had this like courtroom one that was really boring. Like it was just like this boring ad campaign, which is why I think people thought it was so healthy. And I didn't want to subject you guys to such a boring ass commercial. So this one I think is from the mid-90s, and it's when they tried to inject some attitude, you know. So we've got grandmas in here, water skiing, whatever. You'll see what I mean. All right. Number one, Cracklin Oat Bran.
Kellogg's Cracklin Oat Bran tastes like little oatmeal cookies, which means grandmas are spending a lot less time in the kitchen.
This little accelerator right here, and boom, you're gone, okay?
Cracklin Oat Bran's great oatmeal cookie taste comes from crunchy whole grain oats, which are baked with a touch of brown sugar. So now you can have that delicious cookie taste whenever, which is why grandmas are spending less time making cookies.
Ooh, Sam.
And more time sowing oats. Kellogg's Cracklin Oat Bran, oatmeal cookie taste like grandma used to make.
Yeah, so there you go. They're partying it up, you know. The grandmas are free to do whatever. And otherwise, man, people are just digging that Cracklin Oat Bran. So, what else did I miss here? Let me know. If you missed the unhealthy video, please go check that out, because that had some real classics. And another thing that I wanted to say about Kix, too, is that, is it strange that Kix is basically Trix? I think that it's the same thing. I mean, it's basically Trix, except they took the coloring out and the sugar, and now you're left with Kix. Same damn thing. All right. As last time, I left you guys with a bonus cereal, and this one is also very important. If you thought that I was going to skip out on this one, you're crazy, because this one could easily be the number one cereal. It just, I don't really like it that much. It's like a step up from Corn Flakes. It's just not my jam. So, but it's an iconic cereal, and it's got some great jokes that have always gone with it. I mean, like, oh, I didn't eat my Wheaties for breakfast. So until next time, you guys know what to do. You keep that shit retro by eating your Wheaties every damn morning. Later on.
Over the years, Wheaties has always been the breakfast of champions, because we've always stood for the best, with what we put inside the box and who we put outside. Today we welcome our newest champion. And we've never stood quite as tall.